You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell him that. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Yeah, ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. You stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumping where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You can double, you can press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never. Birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever.
Does that worry you or does that excite you? You see the ball in Kate's hands.
You know what type of whoa from the gate? Sheesh. Nah, it doesn't worry me at all. He definitely made that jump last year in his game in terms of showcasing it. So, no, I'm not worried about it at all. I mean, you put up 40
a few times.
A few times for sure. Yeah, no, I'm not worried about it at all. I support it.
Thank you, bro.
Zion, your first game back in a while. How did you feel physically out there tonight?
I felt great. It felt like as soon as I caught my second win, I was done for the night. But I had a great time. The fans were great. And it's always great playing the game of basketball.
And what did you make of the We Want Zion chance at the end of the game?
I've been saying it a lot. I feel embraced, and I love it.
Thanks, Zion.
Trey, what did you make of the whole spectacle of the whole night and the fans and how loud they were? Basically, the whole time you've been here so far.
No, it's really cool. Like I've said before, I didn't know we had this many fans in Australia. I didn't know how much they love basketball here, and it's really a blessing. I've never been out here before. This is all very new to me, and so they've just welcomed me and my team with open arms, and I'm really thankful for that.
Zion, I know there were the We Want Zion chants, but when Melbourne brought it to within 4 or 5 points at the end, did you think maybe I should go tap Coach on the shoulder and get back in this game?
Don't lie.
Yeah, I had a moment. I was like, man, I don't know if I can go back to the city like this, man.
That's not the words you use. No.
Yeah, for half a second. Even Jose walked up and was like, I think I might go in the game, but they handle business. I got to give my respect to Melbourne United. They're a great team. They played a great brand of basketball, and like I said, I just enjoyed being out there tonight.
I don't know what you know about Milton Doyle, but from what you saw tonight and maybe what you've seen of him in the past, what did you make of what he did out there?
He played a great game. Played 38 minutes. He didn't ever look winded out there. He played a great pace, great leader for those guys. A lot of respect for him.
I got a question for both of you guys. What message do you have for the young kids that good to see the NBA for the first time close here in Melbourne?
I would just say cherish it. I remember my first NBA game and how special it was for me and how it motivated me to, keep working hard so I can get to the NBA court. So just remember these moments and, cherish it for a lifetime.
This is, again, for both of you, but this is a moment that's probably going to have a huge impact that we'll see in 5 or 10 years in Australian basketball. You guys got to be a part of that. So I guess how does that feel for you? And you'll probably see some kids that will tell you they were here in 5 or 10 years.
No, it's your turn this time.
He said both of us. He started off.
Like I said, well, for me, one thing I love doing is impacting kids and, giving inspiration to kids, giving back to kids. So if there's a kid out there that watched us play and was inspired and wanted to go work on their game, I feel like I've done my job and, I've, used my platform for the right reasons.
Yeah, what he said. That was a great answer.
Zion, what did you see from Dash Daniels tonight out on that court?
He was a very active defender. Definitely made some offensive plays that I definitely liked from him. And I told him I better see you in the NBA real soon.
Trey, it's a different style, obviously, here that Melbourne plays to what you're used to. Is there anything you saw from them tonight that you kind of can take away with you when you head back to the NBA?
From them or
From Melbourne?
From Melbourne, they move the ball very, very well. You can tell they're a really well-coached team, and they just know how to play off of each other. It's really cool seeing that, especially because I played against European teams at Rice when we went to Spain, and their brand of basketball is just so different, but you can really appreciate it because it's just pure. So, big respect to their coach and then also the players on that team.
For you, obviously, just coming into the season, trying to get back just fully healthy after last season. Looking ahead after this first preseason game, what would a successful season look like for you this year?
Just a completely healthy season, and my mindset with it is just day by day, game by game. But a completely healthy season is what my goal is.
Zion, off the back of that, can you take us inside the process of getting your body ready and really fit and right to endure an 82-game season?
I got to give a big shout out to Daniel Bove, our trainer, on the strength staff. We did a lot of boxing workouts, a lot of football workouts, and we actually started it last year during my rehab, if people paid attention, and we just carried that momentum all through the summer.
Zion, what do you think of Trey's dunk in the first quarter?
You want the truth, or should I be a great teammate?
No, tell me the truth. I want to hear what you got to say too now.
And I've seen him do better. He could have, did the full windmill. He babied it, but it was nice. What'd you say?
Do you think I babied it?
I'm talking about poster, not the window.
The poster was nice. Hey, hey, the poster was nice. The poster was nice.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Zion, how did you pull up physically from this, and do you feel like you'll provide a similar level of output minutes-wise in Sunday's game?
Hopefully they give me more minutes. Preseason, I usually go through the same kind of routine. But I can't help but be really excited to get more minutes just to, play in front of these fans.
One more question.
A question for the both of you. What's one experience that you'll take back home from here in Melbourne?
Honestly, just like Trey said earlier, how many Pels fans there are out here, I had no idea. And when I say this, I genuinely mean it from my heart. That love is felt and is really appreciated.
Yeah, I would say for me, the open practice was, really nice because just seeing all the kids just smile and just be so happy. And we had kids come on the court, shoot half-court shots. It really put a real smile on their face. And I'm very thankful to be able to do that for the kids and, the other fans here.
First of all, we're extremely grateful to have the opportunity to be here in this country and see the excitement from the fans. Really competitive game tonight, and our guys are really enjoying this experience.
Coach, were you tempted to bring some of your starters back late on when the score got within 4 or 5 points there?
No, we had a plan to play them a certain amount of minutes for the first game, but really good job on our young group of, they went on a run, and, we were able to make some plays defensively, made a few plays offensively, and come out with the win.
Willie, we saw Trey as an initiator today, especially in the pick and roll. Is that something we're going to see more this year? Will he have an expanded role in the offense in that way?
For sure. He's somebody that wants it. I want him to continue to mix it up. He's such a great cutter. He's a really good shooter off the move, off the catch. He can drive and finish, and now adding that to his game offensively. And then, again, competing on the defensive end, rebounding the ball. But that's definitely something that he works on and something that he'll add to his package.
What did you like about the first look at Kevon Looney as a starter in this group?
Loon he's a seasoned vet. He's smart. He communicates defensively. He's always in the right spot. He plays well alongside Z and JP and Trey and those guys. So he's a guy that we need on the floor, especially with his experience.
This is a pretty organized Melbourne United team. What did you make of some of the ATOs that they ran and some of the sets that they ran that I think maybe got you guys a little bit out of whack a little bit?
We watched a ton of film on these guys, so they do a great job of running their offense. They run it with force. They run it with pace. They're extremely unselfish. They made it tough on us tonight, and they're a heck of a team.
Coach, what did you see from Zion tonight? And we're pretty pleased to get 15 points in 15 minutes from him.
We were. He came out and got started right away. I loved his activity defensively, getting steals, deflections, and then, getting out in the open floor, playing in fast break opportunities. When the game slows down, we know we can put the ball in his hands in the post or in the high post, and he makes plays for his teammates or for himself.
What players stood out toward the end as he got close to giving some of those guys chances that may not get those in a practice situation? What was it like kind of evaluating some of those guys, the two-way guys and such like that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us is, guys going out and competing and having carryover from practice. to games as far as execution. I'm proud of all of our guys that stepped on the floor. Their intentions were right. It's the first preseason game, so there's going to be some rust with some guys, but those are things we'll clean up in film, clean up on the practice floor. But I thought, that last unit that got in the game, they executed on both ends. Carlo was good. Bryce McGowan was good. Trey Alexander. Shoemate had a big, put-back dunk. Things that they've been doing, all summer. So we're seeing carryover. Just a little rusty, and we'll continue to work on that.
Coach, what do you think of Dash Daniels, and did that remind you of Dice at all?
He does. His defensive instincts very similar to his brother. He picks up full court, long arms, got great size. He's physical, and he caused some havoc for us defensively. He's a really good player.
What do you think of the atmosphere? Because obviously, first ever game, NBA game here in Australia. What do you think of the fans, the atmosphere here in the stadium?
It was exciting. It was electric. The fans were in tune. They were engaged. It was really a great platform to come here and be able to play against high-level competition. It's fun getting out there playing in front of the fans. We enjoyed it.
Can you talk about Jeremiah Fear's development, what you've seen so far? It seemed like he got good looks tonight, just didn't have a great shooting night. What are you seeing from him, and what are you excited about?
Yeah, he's going to continue to improve. I was excited about his aggressiveness. He doesn't back down from any challenge. He missed a few shots, made some mistakes, but that's a part of the game. I pulled him aside and told him, just not many people can do what he's doing at 18 years old. Stay confident about what you're doing, keep attacking, and he'll continue to get better, continue to improve as we progress.
Coach Kevon Looney mentioned today the emphasis this preseason on the defensive end. What do you want to see change defensively from last season heading to this year?
A more physical approach to the game with all of our guys guarding the ball, rebounding the ball, finishing possessions. I thought for the most part, watching the game, we did a good job. We'll clean up some mistakes, but that's our approach going into the season, going into these training camp games.
Take one more. Is there any chance we'll see Herb Jones on Sunday, or is it too close a turnaround?
Yeah, we're not sure yet. He'll continue to be evaluated, and we'll probably have an update tomorrow.
All right, shout out to the fan for all things Pelicans. Tuning into Pelican post-game report. Shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all for being in the live on this one, man. Listen, Pels, man, took care of business, man, in a good way versus this Australian team. And to be honest with you, man, it was a pretty interesting game, man, as the Pels handled the business. So big ups to you guys. Appreciate y'all being in the live on this one. Please do us a service and hit upon the like button. PPR here representing the Flock and Nation. Stand up, man. This is a quick report. We'll come back on tonight. It'll be kind of late because the Melbourne Phoenix matchup with the Pelicans is slated for 10 p.m. Central Time. So it'll be a late Pelican post-game report, kind of breaking it down right after the game. But the Pels took care of business against this team, and they're actually a pretty decent club. If you do a little scouting work on them, they were actually pretty decent. But to get into the matchup, was very interesting, man, to watch it. Many of the family members, if you hadn't gotten an opportunity to kind of watch the game, there are outlets where you can. Just put it like that, and if you hadn't already. But what's interesting, just to kind of hit on some of those, kind of looking at or talking to the interview portion where we heard Zion Williamson and Trey Murphy. Those guys are fun to listen to. You can see that Zion had a good time there. And then the chemistry between these two guys right here is going to be big. You're looking at pretty much the future of the team right here. And Zion Williamson in terrific shape. And then looking at Trey Murphy, the third, the sharpshooter, finishing strong. And Trey Murphy's really come a long way, hasn't he, fam? From just a spot-up shooter, he can knock your lights, the lights out of there. He 5 feet and beyond from the three-point line. As soon as he's a danger. As soon as he crossed that mid-court line. And you can see they have a great chemistry between the two of them, kind of maturing here with the Pelicans. And these two guys will be, in part, what takes the Pelicans into this season. The scoring and not only the physicality of Trey Murphy, meaning, man, finishing strong at the cup. If guys run him off the three-point line, finishing strong at the cup. Windmill, dunking on people. Trey Murphy is dangerous, man. He even talked about in previous pressers this season, early on, about his mid-range shot and working on that. And of course, Zion Williamson is a player who's just trying to stay where he is, man, and continue to build forward and develop. The injuries have kind of stalled his development. Wanting to see Zion with a mid-range shot to kind of draw attention away from the cup and force guys to come to him. He has that shot. So him getting that would be really huge. Him consistently and growing comfortable with that mid-range jumper would also be served a really good purpose. But anyway, I just like the chemistry and watching them two guys kind of talk they talk and do their thing. Very lighthearted banter between them two, giving each other props. And you had Poole, and then you had Kevon Looney, which was really a good look. Sadiq Bey started the game. That five was really interesting to see how the Pelicans had. Then, of course, later on, we started to see some of these other guys trickle in. But anyway, let's go right into the stats of it, man. Pelicans took care of business. 40-90 was the field goal. 40 out of 90, 44.4% by the Pelicans. 8 of 33 from downtown. Collectively, poor for the Pels. 24.2. We need them to kind of put that together, but then again, it's preseason, guys. We're in and out of there, right? 19 of 24, 79.2% from the foul line. They did get out rebounded 48-46, but it was, like I said, it's a lot of different components to factor into that. The assist game, not as many assists as you want. 23-20, 11-7 on the steals. Vantage Pelicans, they outblocked the Melbourne team 8-1. You see the turnovers was 16, but 23 points off versus 18 by Melbourne with 20 given up. The fast break points 7-6, not much on that, but the points in the paint was huge for the Pelicans to help them win the game. 60-38, that was huge for the Pelicans. And of course, as you can see, the Pelicans had it by as much as 16 in the game, and of course they kind of made it. When the second quarter happened, they tried to kind of get a little closer. The game was a little bit more chippier for Melbourne and later on, but the Pelicans were able to kind of keep their distance and was able to secure the win. Individually speaking, for the Pels, you've seen Zion finished 15 points in 16 minutes. That's big. 15 points, 16 minutes, 5 of 8 from the field, 5 of 7 from the foul line. He finished plus 10, 5 assists and 2 rebounds with 2 steals for Zion Williamson. 18 from trigger Trey Murphy in 19 minutes, 7 of 13. He was 2 of 7 from downtown, perfect from the foul line. 3 steals to go along with that. And of course, 11 from Jordan Poole, who finished with 20 minutes, 3 of 9 from shooting from the field. He hit a long three-pointer, but he was kind of poorish with three-point shooting. 1 of 6 in the matchup, but finished with 11 points, 4 assists, and 4 boards. And of course, we've seen some guys off the bench come in and get some really decent minutes and make things happen. 11 from our bench leader, Jose Alvarado. A lot of people was thinking about Jose. He went down hard in the season, the summer matchup, but he showed there was no signs of that. 11 points, 20 minutes, 4 of 5, and he also hit a three-pointer. Jose was looking, actually 3 3-pointers. I'm looking at Piva, who did good too, but 3 of 4 from downtown by Jose Alvarado. He was feeling it. He was plus 7 there on the plus minus. 11 points, 3 rebounds for him in the matchup. 10 from Bryce McGowan's in 10 minutes. He did really good there. 11 from Jordan Hawkins in 16 minutes. Jayhawk was given some minutes, and he was kind of not too good from the field. 3 of 9, but 1 of 4 from downtown, but still finished with a plus 8 on the plus minus. He also hustled up 5 rebounds to go along with 2 assists. So he was out there hustling, kind of doing his thing. So 11 from him and Jayhawk, 10 from Bryce McGowan, 7 from Jeremiah Fears, who got 22 minutes. He was 3 of 15 from the field. Didn't hit a three-point. He was 0 for 6 in the matchup. But it's that's that thing. He finished with 7 points. He did have 5 turnovers and 4 personal fouls, trying to figure it out in his first preseason game. So it's something to be expected for our young point guard, which we knows that eventually he will solidify. Is just what he is. He's a really young, good player. Karlo Mekovic had 6 points in the matchup in 16 minutes. He finished with 4 rebounds, 6 from Eves in 20 minutes of action. He had 8 rebounds to go along with 3 blocks. He was in there handling business. Christian Shoemate had a nasty follow-up dunk that you heard Willie talk about in the matchup. And of course, we see a couple of players didn't play. We see Herb Jones, who didn't play because of the left ankle sprain, according to the report. We know what Derek Queen's issues and DeJounte Murray, but Jaden Springer, another guy, had a left ankle sprain, and then 2 DMPs because of coaching decision with Garrison Brooks and Hunter Dickinson. So there you go. A few of the guys. Mika finished with 7 points in 21 minutes. He was 3 of 5 from the field with 3 steals and the rebound. A lot of people like Mika Peavy. He's a guy to keep an eye out on, the second round pick. A lot of people believe that he is a steal. Kayvon in his first game, preseason game as a Pelican, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in the matchup in 18 minutes of action. Sadiq Bey didn't get any points, but he was a hustler. +9 there in the plus minus. He finished with a couple of rebounds, a steal, and a assist out there with the size and the defensive temperament that he displayed. So the Pels did what they needed to do to get the first preseason game, and we then shift to the next preseason matchup, which is tonight, as they take on Melbourne, what they would could have said a Southeast Melbourne Phoenix team. That's the proper term for these guys. As you can see, some of the injury report for the Pelicans, and pretty much you heard Willie Green kind of preview the matchup and talk about some of the things. But in terms of the scouting report for this particular team that the Pelicans will play our time, 10 p.m. Central, they'll have an opportunity to take on Josh King. This is the head coach of the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix Club. And his positional versatility and depth, and in terms of making the team a strong or productive team in terms of its defense. And like we talked about as early as early October, he's a guy that's at 1-1, placing them 6th in the MDL ladder. Now, what's interesting about this team under this particular head coach is that they have a lot of positional versatility. The team is built around multiple ball handlers who can play down or up, offering flexibility. They have some depth at despite some key offensive losses, they have built a pretty deep roster, and their focus is strong to have a strong defense. And they've been noted particularly that in the preseason, that the focus is that. Now the weakness is they lack a go-to scorer, a super elite scorer that can generate points in the half-court situation. They lack that, and of course with significant roster changes that they were dealing with, the chemistry also is an issue. Just like with most teams, when you start off early on, building chemistry is key. And of course, overall, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, they appear to be a defensively orientated team with depth and positional versatility. Success hinges on how quickly the new roster can gel, and players like Lewis can step up the field, the void left by some of the departed firepower players. So the leadership group, including co-captain Sobey and Jordan Hunter, will be important in navigating what happens in the matchup against the Pelicans. So the Pelicans will come back into it, and of course we'll kind of expect the similar rotations in terms of our key people there. When we talk about key people, we're talking about guys like Zion Williamson and the likes, and how could the Pelicans, what could they do in terms of getting him more minutes and coming into the game. It was good seeing him as fresh as he is and how he looks, and just continue to do that. Ultimately playing and working on getting game plan together and staying healthy. That'll be a big part of it for the Pelicans. Jordan Poole and Trey Murphy, those guys finding synergy and chemistry. Zion Williamson remaining healthy. Seeing Kayvon Looney out there with Sadiq Bey is a good look. And of course Jeremiah Fears, Jay Hawk, and the rest of the young guys who are healthy to come in and make plays. Mika Peavy is another guy that you want to look at too and see what more he can offer. Very interesting player. And Jose Alvarado is making it very difficult, man, in terms of how he played. Can he continue that play tonight against Melbourne? So what's interesting, fam, about the Pelicans getting a win over this particular team is what's interesting is the NBA has done a really decent job here in terms of going to Australia, and there is a large contingent of Pels supporters as well as Saint supporters in Australia. There are many groups online from Australia that love the Saints and love the Pelicans. So there are a lot of those. So I wasn't very surprised by that, to be honest with you. But that is huge, because of the power of, you seeing people like Zion Williamson, who has some sort of star power, as he continues to develop and get better at what he does and stand on the court. There are a lot of the people that have left Zion, like left him be like, well, wait till he's this, the kind of the casuals who have left. When he starts winning, you'll see a large contingent of people flow into Pelican podcasts and all this type of stuff. You'll see it happen when the team starts galvanizing and becomes successful again. You'll see a sea or rush of casuals back into a lot of our podcast circles. So just be forever noted about that, man, because I've seen that happen before on PPR. But anyway, what's interesting, to shout out to the NBA, man, for how they did this. Instead of it being a just boring, preseason, NBA preseason, they're kind of mixing it up and making preseason actually mean something, like getting, connected to the Australian leagues and getting that kind of stuff going. What's an interesting caveat and a mix right there to kind of have teams to travel these other places and play over here and there. I thought that was a really good idea by the NBA to kind of jazz up the preseason for our Pelicans, man, and I thought that was pretty cool to see other people out there that actually love the Pelicans. And just NBA basketball in foreign land. Of course, it'll come a time when, the Pelicans tonight matchup will mean that they pretty much will end that, and then they'll come back home and host the regular American teams or the NBA teams again, and we'll finish out after these games are over with the Australian games, the Saturday game, the Pelicans then will come back home for two, one home, one away. They'll have Houston on Tuesday in the Smoothie King Center. That'll be cool to see the Pelicans back in the building for that. And then the following Thursday, they'll go to Orlando and take on the Magic, and that'll end the preseason. So by tonight, we'll be half done with the preseason games, and family, we'll be headed into pretty soon. October the 22nd is the first regular season game at Memphis. So, man, listen, we have a few more games left to go, but, man, it's good seeing what the Pelicans can do against Melbourne United. We took care of business, and we have Melbourne Southeast Melbourne Phoenix is what they're called. But anyway, with that being said, man, listen, if you enjoyed the broadcast, feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. PPR is in here. Our full staff will be back tonight, later on, to recap the second preseason matchup of these early years. So with that being said, man, listen, I'm on up out of here. I'm going to holler at y'all later on. Peace and go Pels.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican, ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and do best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever.